Good morning, Coolest Coast. It's time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts. This is Kristin Odell. I'm Tina Prigge. So good to see you this morning.
Good morning. I have a
Chris,
different angle today.
yeah, it looks pretty nice. I like it.
Thanks.
How does
Good
it
to
feel?
see you.
Does it change your mojo or flow for the show?
I mean, first of all, the thing I noticed is that Doug's name is right here, which I love. I love my husband dearly, but I feel like my name should be over there.
Yeah. Do you have one of those with your name?
Should I switch it?
Switch it.
Watch
Yes.
this.
Go, Kristin. Go, Kristin. Well, look at that. You know what? It's harder to read, but at least it's harder to read, but at least we won't mistake you for Doug Odell. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, sorry, you guys. I have two computers. I'm very blessed to have two computers. One is this laptop that I'm on, and one is a little bit older Mac, which has a beautiful big screen, but it's kind of a dinosaur. It needs time to wake up. And today it needed some extra time. So
Good. Well, it's lucky that you have the alternative.
that's
And
right.
it's funny, you just demonstrated just how easy empowerment is, right? Like to make that change, to make it all about you. I love that. And it kind of reminds me of a picture that you texted me. And it took me a
Mm,
minute, right? I'm going to put the picture up because I had to look at it. I'm like, why did Kristin text me this picture? But when I looked further, I'm like, oh my gosh, and I love it. This is really cool, Kristin.
yeah.
So tell us where this is from.
Okay. So we traveled to Tybee Island a couple weeks ago for a vacation. And this was in the seat pocket on the seat in front of me. They're giving instructions. And I thought, first of all, of my amazing friend Tina, and I thought about how inclusive this is.
Yeah,
So, what did you notice
representation
first as
matters.
your eyes are scanning around? What did you see?
At first, I saw the baby in the yellow life preserver, and I was like, "What is happening?" It's like buckle, tighten. I'm like, why do I need this information? But then I started looking at all the people in the bottom row and I realized the guy second from the right has a prosthetic leg and that representation matters, right? That inclusiveness, it makes a difference. And you sent this one too, showing him exiting the plane door.
Right. Right. So he put his good leg first, and then obviously the leg that has the prosthesis on it, he used to exit. And yeah, I just thought I loved how inclusive it was. I loved how many different demographics and ages were represented. Like if you go back to the other picture, um, we see like a really tiny baby and the woman on the left, right? And I think she's actually like the baby's in a baby seat. And then
Oh, I
there's
couldn't tell if it was strapped to her back or not. Okay.
we actually talked about that on the plane. Like, what are we looking at here? But yeah, there's an infant, and then there's a child that looks like fifth, sixth, seventh, 7 years old, whatever. Men and women, different nationalities, different abilities, right? And I thought it was cool, and I thought of you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's really special and meaningful. And it's interesting because you sent it at the same time Jason and I were watching a program. Actually, I was doing something else, but he's like, hey, Tina, come and check out this program. And this is a snap of the picture or the snap of it on TV. And I thought, wow, it's the exact same amputation, right? And
Yes.
what I loved about it is, um, the show didn't acknowledge it at all. It's not like it was there to be funny. It wasn't like a joke. You know what I mean? It was just
Mhm.
she was there. Her abilities a little different, but she was like, one of the normal characters. And yeah, that representation is really valuable.
Well, and just like to get to just see people like yourself, right? Which I think this is a struggle for all types of people. We all want to identify with somebody else, right? And sometimes it's harder to find those, and so it's neat to see that being included.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, before I was in this condition, I wasn't aware of it.
Hmm.
So, I don't even know if I would have noticed on the airplane instructions, for example. So I'm so glad that you pointed that out.
Well, before you got injured, I don't know that I had awareness either. So it has a rippling effect, right? Like we can have a new level of awareness and a new thoughtfulness about it, and that's healthy.
Thanks for lifting me up. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, last week we were talking about a new word, perspicacity. And after we got off the show, I was eating some sweet tarts and I noticed the sweet tarts had messaging. And then I realized there is a definite lack of perspicacity in this message.
Are these like seasonal ones, or is this just what you get on sweet tarts?
I don't think so. It was just a little box of sweet tarts. And as I was putting them in my mouth, all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, it says something.
Yeah.
So yeah, the box didn't like say new messages or anything like that.
I mean, I like sassy, I like silly, like I like those descriptors. I don't understand head or fly on sweet
Right.
tarts. It
So
feels like a bad fortune cookie.
there's a like a contrasting or similar word on the opposite side. So like
Mm,
sassy, I think it might have been silly. But like head and fly, I can't even remember what the opposites were.
yeah, I don't know. I don't get it.
But hence the lack of perspicacity.
I
Which
love that.
then you have a word of the week.
I do. So I just had the huge blessing. Last night, I got to work with a local church, and I was invited to teach Clifton Strengths with their elder board. And we were in there, and an individual who has a lot of execution themes, meaning they love to get things done and they're just very efficient with knocking the to do, very much like me, um, said, I really appreciate congruency, and like people can expect that from me, not just at work, not just at home, not just at the gym, but like congruency is my word, that I show up the same everywhere. And I looked at him and I'm like, I'm using that word in the show with Kristin and Tina tomorrow morning.
So here's what you sent me: the quality of being similar to or in agreement with something.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead and use this. Give us an example.
Yeah. So it says the congruence of two systems, or the congruency of values. And I think this can be a math term. So like congruent triangles is something that is used to describe that. Don't ask me about that. There's a reason I work in HR. But the congruency of values is exactly what this individual is really trying to drive through, to say the way that I show up and how I work hard at home is the same as how I show up and work hard at work. And that's the same as what you can expect from me on the elder board. And that's the same as what you can expect from me from the gym. So like my value system is congruent across all these environments.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
powerful.
And
I don't think I can apply it to the sweet tarts, but
maybe they were the sweet tarts sweet tarts were congruently enjoyable,
oh, they were definitely enjoyable. Oh, I wonder if
right?
you could make a case that there's congruency between the words on each side.
Maybe. There you go. You can think about it. It really so I have high belief also, a lot of the individuals in that room, and it really made me step back and think about like, what is my value system? And I believe I show up with integrity and transparency in all those environments, but like am I truly being congruent in my value system across all the places that I go? It just was a really good like awareness discussion.
So as you evaluated that, did you find that you do show up with a congruency, that there's congruency in your, I don't know, attitude or the way you show up every
Mhm.
place?
So I think I need to continue just like processing on that and praying into that a little bit, but that is certainly my intent. My intent is to show up with those core values and to really settle in and be that person of integrity in all those environments. Am I doing it great in all the places? I don't know. I got to think about that a little
Well,
bit.
now that's not the question. The question isn't, "Are you doing it great?" It's, "Do you think that you've got that congruency?" And as a third party observer, I would say yes. I feel like the Kristin I meet
Hmm.
here on the show, the Kristin I run into, at a restaurant or something, or the Kristin in the professional world, there's definitely like this congruency of values running through there.
You sure know how to make a girl feel good. I that is my goal. I still need to like assess if I am truly doing that, but I think I like that is the intent. So,
Nice. I just want to say good morning to everyone that's chimed in so far. And ohayo gozaimasu, Miho-san. She is tuning in from Japan. I love that.
Good morning, Miho, and my friend Rocky. Our kids go to school together. Good morning, Rocky. I'm so happy to have you here.
Rocky, feel free to drop us a Coffee with Kristin and Tina haiku if you can whip one up on the spot.
Ooh, is she a haiku master?
She is a haiku master.
I did not know this about her. Mary, I know that Heartorama is going on, and Mary Hamachek is very involved with that. So, Mary, tell us how it's going in the comments. I think there's still tickets available. I think it goes. Is it all next week yet?
I think it's next weekend or this
Okay.
coming weekend. And I think I saw, Mary, maybe you even have a link that there's like a flash sale. So it's like if you buy one ticket, maybe it's you get one free or tickets are half. There was some like flash sale on tickets.
I love that. So yes, throw it in there. Obviously, Heartorama is a very historic event. Mary, I saw your outfit pictures online. It looks so cute.
Yeah, very cool. Kristin, you said, you know how to make a girl feel good. And I just have to show you this picture. My cousin stopped by yesterday and she brought these daffodils from her garden. And I thought that sure makes a girl feel good too. When somebody hands you some flowers, it just brightens your day.
I know, doesn't it? Our daffodils just peaked open in the last couple of days. I actually meant to like snap my traditional annual picture and send it to you. And we're pretty close to the lake, so sometimes they hang on a little bit. But I am noticing the trees budding around town. And I don't know about you, but like our girls all have stuffy noses. I think that they have some spring allergies. But it's happening. The grass is green, the trees are budding.
I love it. I think this is one of my favorite seasons. I just love this kind of turning point.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fresh.
Mary said Thursday and Friday. She
Okay.
said the show is going great this coming weekend. Yes, there is a buy one half off sale. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
and that's for Thursday and Friday. Oh, and she
Perfect.
then said that Saturday is sold out because Charlie Barron's will be
What?
there.
Ooh, who has tickets for Saturday? He's so good. What
I'm
a
so
cool
happy to
thing.
hear that it's sold out too. It's such a
Hmm.
good cause. Right.
It
Keep that in
is.
mind, viewers. When you support Heartorama, you are supporting their raising of funds that support the American Heart Association. And
Hmm.
a number of those dollars stay local. And what they do with those is they buy AEDs, for example, that are then kept in public places.
It's really good. It's really
Good.
fun, and it's just really a really good cause.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Have you ever performed in Heartorama, Tina?
Yes. Yes, I have.
What was your character?
Oh, I did it. I did it a number of years. Most recently, I did the news, so that was interesting. I played. My character was Chantel Truth,
Ooh.
and Chantel Truth, and my partner was. Oh gosh, I can't think of it. Alternative. Al. So it was the fake news network. It was pretty good. It was fun.
Oh, I love that. What a fun thing. Do you think you'll ever do it again?
Um, Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Sad to say. I mean,
Okay.
just, unless I get really comfortable in my new condition, I just don't think so.
We want you to be comfortable in your new condition.
Thank you. Mary just said that a toilet seat, which at Heartorama, a toilet seat is the best seat in the house. It's decorated by an artist, signed by all of the performers. It sold for
Wow.
$8,000 last Saturday. Bravo, you guys.
That is amazing. What a cool way to just collect money and generate funds for not just our community, but the Heart Association.
If somebody's interested in seeing what the best seat in the house looks like, the last time I was at Piggly Wiggly in Manitowoc, I saw they had a whole selection of them on
Hmm.
display over many, many years.
Yeah, I think they like have a mission to get one every year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
I
think
love that.
Festival Foods has a wall of them too.
Do they? I don't know if I've seen them at festival.
I think it's the wall that's like near if you're going towards the bathrooms.
Mm.
But
Okay.
now am I imagining that?
I feel like you might
Hmm. Hmm. Somebody will have to check that out and get back to us.
be. Hmm.
Okay. Rocky said, cream swirls and coffee while Tina and Kristin lift us up to morning joy. Rocky! Bravo! Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my gosh.
I love that. I totally have cream in my coffee too. Lots of it today.
Yes. Our first Coffee with Kristin and Tina haiku. That is really cool.
Does that need to be, like, made into a meme and published officially?
I think so. I think
I love
so.
that.
Let's do it.
Oh, Amber Hutchinson, good morning. She just said Tina is correct, meaning there's toilet seats at festival?
Yes,
Amber?
Amber, thank you. Thank you for confirming that.
I love that.
Very
I
cool.
saw I didn't get to talk to Amber the other night. I waved at her, but I was at the 100 plus women meeting for Manitowoc County on Monday night, and Ascend Services won. I would guess, and Amber, you can comment. I would guess there was 150 women there, and there was so much energy in the room. It was incredible. And my friend Deanna at Ascend Services won. I bet they're going to win. This isn't without a match or anything, but I bet they're going to get like $15,000.
Ah, that's incredible.
Just one night. You go there not knowing.
Yeah. And think about that. That's all local support for local organization doing good locally, right? Like
Yes.
that's what it takes. That's that rising tide that raises all ships.
Yeah. Isn't that so cool? So, like, since the inception of 100 plus, they've given over $200,000 away in this community. And again, that does not include matching funds. They do have some private foundations matching those dollars, but what a cool gift. And like Ascend shared, they have some new technology and new sensory things they want to make available to their clients. And so they're going to get to go buy those things that they've been dreaming about. And just, it's life changing. One night, $15,000. Pretty
It's
cool.
amazing. And it's amazing because it's not like one person had to come up with that amount, right? It's
Mhm.
because everyone pitched in the little bit that they could and it makes that huge amount, which
Yeah.
makes a huge impact.
So if you ever wondered about that, I don't know that we've ever talked about this on the show, but I'm going to drop the link. I'll drop in the link later, the website for 100 plus for Manitowoc County. And if you want to come, you can just come as a guest and check it out. But it's pretty powerful.
Okay, Kristen, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to write a haiku about the impact of 100 women.
Oh, wow.
And you
I
can
need
work with Rocky. Since Rocky's the haiku master, you can kibitz with Rocky.
Rocky, we're going to have to meet after school every night this week so I can get my homework done. A 100 plus women. She probably will just do it for me and have it done in like 3 seconds.
Rocky,
Haiku.
can you have it done before this show is over? That would be amazing.
Am I allowed to use Chat GBT?
Um, good question.
Listen, the answer is no. You challenged me to do it. That would not be me writing original content.
It'd be interesting to know if we could tell if it was Chat GPT. Amber said it was so amazing. The energy, the women that are coming together. I'm so proud of Women 100. Inspiring.
Yes, I agree completely. It was really good stuff the other night.
Hey, you know what? Something cool happened yesterday. I was telling you, my cousin stopped by. She was cleaning out some of her dad's things, and in his old army bag, she found a stack of letters that my grandpa, so my grandpa and her dad were brothers, that my grandpa had written home during World War II. And we lost my grandpa about 8 years ago. And the war was never anything he ever talked to us about. Like we had no insight into that part of his history. So she delivered this whole box, in his own handwriting, in the original envelopes. She went through and organized them by date. And so my mom and my grandma are going to be coming over for Mother's Day on Sunday. And I've been like holding off reading them until we can all read them together.
Oh my, I have chills. Like just seeing the year on that envelope, 1945, like smacks me.
Yeah.
It smacks me. I mean, that's World War II, that's Hitler, that's all that stuff. And to think about your family members being there and being able to read their correspondence back. And I'm sure there was some filtering that happened in writing even, but holy cow, I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. Right. I haven't dug in yet, so I don't know. But he was stationed in Okinawa and starting in 1945. So it was more the start of the Reconstruction era rather than the heavy fighting. But it'll still be so interesting to have that glimpse into his life.
Yeah. What a just a neat way. Yeah, Becky, what an amazing gift. What a just great little window into that moment in time to be able to see into what they were seeing, what they were feeling, what was happening. Like, what a gift.
Yeah. And just to even see like his handwriting, right? Like, I don't know if I could have told you what my grandpa's handwriting even looked like.
Yeah. I mean, I just need to pause right now and say, look at how beautiful the cursive is on all of these envelopes.
And what's interesting too is the address. So it says like the name of his family, and then it literally just said Kiwani, Wisconsin.
Well, Kiwani 1945. That's a little ways back. That's great. Well, you're gonna have to give us an update on like what it was like and what experiences you had and what you learned. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, I wonder like, what's he gonna talk about?
Hmm.
What was important
We
to him?
Yeah, my mom and I every Monday have been hanging out and like working on just going through. My mom has lived in her house for 45 years. And so since my dad passed away, we've just been really kind of working through, closets and things like that. And we found some suitcases of my dad's. And in those suitcases, we found pictures from when he graduated from Lincoln High School and when he went to prom.
What?
And the years were like 1960 and 1961. And there were pictures with his then girlfriend in them. And, she was a flower girl the year that he graduated from Lincoln. So, and we don't have any pictures of my dad during that time. And so it was really cool because all of a sudden we had this moment where we had photos of him that landed in a timeline. We have some when he was little, and then we have some when he was in his late 30s, and there's just not a lot in between. And so it was like such a little gift to find these. I wish we had pulled them out and talked to him about it. We didn't know they were there.
Yeah. What did it feel like? Can you describe that moment when you saw it? Did it almost feel like he showed up?
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. And I mean, there were other things that we found in these. So my dad was a big boat geek. He and Connor would have gotten along so fabulously, but he had every newspaper clipping from when boats were launched in Manitowoc. And like we found a birthday card in there from his girlfriend, and she had written to my boat loving boyfriend, just
Aw.
like that was still my dad in his 80s. He still loved boats. So it was really cool to see the congruency of his uh
You
of his
just brought
love.
it back around. You just made this conversation so congruent. Way to go.
And then like for a season, my dad worked for the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department as like a weekend deputy. So like he would work the county fair and special events, and we found his revolver. And like, so we didn't again know that these things were there, but just it's so amazing to just find again these nuggets of history and like pull them out. And I don't know,
That's
pretty special
amazing.
stuff.
That
Yeah.
is. So Lori said, when I cleaned out my dad's stuff, I found a phonograph record that he had recorded and sent home to his mom. He was in the Korean War. Oh my gosh. Now that's really special, Lori, because you would have been able to hear his voice.
Yeah. I just got chills reading that too. What do you do with Lori? What did you do with that? Like, have you been able to listen to it? Because I'm wondering, like, there has to be resources to switch that over to digital, but
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that.
Yeah. And did it sound like your dad as you knew him, or was it like a,
Mm.
a higher registered voice than you were used to?
But
Or
yeah, like he's probably younger. So like it's a younger version of their voice, but
like when you saw your dad in the high school pictures, could you recognize him?
yes, I mean I'd seen pictures from when he was young, so I definitely could see him in there. He always wore glasses. But it's just neat to see him at that age. Grace is 15, so she's like approaching that same age, and just to have that perspective. And again, just that for some reason in my mind, I think in timelines, or there's moments in timelines. And so it just so firmly put him and what he looked like right in that spot.
That's awesome. Lori
Mhm.
confirms she has a record player.
Oh, cool.
That's brilliant. Hey, another cool thing happened. So I was at therapy, and after therapy, I was worn out. And I said, Jason, can we stop and get a coffee? So we went to Starbucks, and he had a Starbucks app on his phone. He hadn't used it in ages, but he's like, you know what? There's $9.71 on this app. Do you think we can keep it under that? I'm like, okay, sure. So we pulled into Starbucks. We didn't look at the prices or anything. We just ordered what we normally order. And the barista's like, "That'll be $9.71." We were like, "What?" Like, down to the exact penny. I couldn't believe it. It was like this moment like, when there's that kind of congruency in the universe, it's almost like a
Mm,
message to do something. I didn't know what to do, but
yeah, or just, that feels settled, like you were exactly where you were meant to be in that moment.
yeah.
That's so fun. Did you, like, laugh? Were you like, "What?" Like, how did you guys react?
Well, Jason was like, "Wait, how much did she say it was?" I said, "How much is on the card?" We were like debating whether or not we had heard it correctly or not. And then we got
Yes.
up to the window and she reiterated it and we were just like blown away.
Did you tell them about it?
No, no, I thought about it, but it was a long line and I thought they don't need to hear. Lori said, "My grandmother kept a beautiful scrapbook of all his pictures and telegrams and newspaper clippings. Such a treasure."
Mhm. Yeah, it's hard as we've been going through things, you, like, wanna keep things, but you don't wanna keep things. You want the history of your family and, like, that legacy, and so we've really been trying to sort through, like, how do we do this? And especially with pictures, we've just been putting them in a bin and we're like, "Okay, we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do with that after because we don't wanna lose the history." Um, but we gotta sort through it a little bit, so, yeah, it's been tough.
Right. It's really hard to, when you're trying not to be a hoarder, to determine like
Mm,
what would Marie Kondo do? Does Marie
right.
Kondo have any kind of history that she retains? And if
Yeah.
not, it'd be kind of sad.
Well, and then, like, what is the version what would she recommend for something like family pictures, historical family pictures, right? So in her version of organization, what would she do with those? Now, I do think I had somebody else tell me a photo album or a scrapbook or something is just, like, a really beautiful and that can be passed on, so I don't know.
And I think that that is more powerful than if you just digitize them,
Mhm.
right? Like if you scan them all in and now they're on, but because devices become obsolete, but
Mhm.
a print photo is never obsolete.
Right. Well, and I debated, like, do we scan them all in and then have a book made? And then I'm like, well, that's pretty stupid if I can get a photo album and then the original, because like pictures were different shapes too. We found these little like 3x3 ones and we found some where the paper was really, really heavy and it was just really neat. And it's like, I almost feel like I need to find the old, like where you peel it back and put them down and then like re-stick it. So I've got to work on finding those.
Just, a note, some of those aren't archival, like, some of that sticky stuff isn't very good for the photos, actually.
Mm.
So, if you're gonna do that, just make sure that it's intended for kind of the long-term keeping of them, and not that
Got it.
it's just a a cheap knockoff or something, because you don't wanna actually damage the photos that you're trying to save.
Absolutely. You're so good, so knowledgeable. Thank you.
Thank you. I worked at a photo store for a while.
Of course you did.
Way, way back in the day when photos were still a thing, when you'd actually take in the film and get it printed.
Yeah. So, I thought about you this morning. Is it possible to get an attachment for your new hand to hold the camera so you can still shoot?
Yeah, I was just talking to my therapist about that and like what options we might have. So I don't actually have my hand this week. It's in the shop because they're turning on another bank of sensors to give me
Ooh,
um, a little more control.
nice.
So
That's so exciting.
I guess it's leveling up.
You graduated.
Thanks, thanks. But it's weird
They
because I don't have it now. Like I'm like, you know, I feel a little weird without it.
You feel one-handed?
I feel like this.
Now we're making fun. We shouldn't be making fun. Oh, that's great.
Hey, you know what? Let's make fun of this though. So this was a beautiful sunset. I snapped this picture, right? I love it that it's a cow crossing sign in Wisconsin. It just seems so Wisconsin. But then a perspicacious observer pointed out this cow has an udder and horns. Like, what is happening in this illustration?
Do you
And
know what that means?
I can't believe I never noticed this before.
Do you know what that means? That means it's related to the Cedar Crest cow.
So Bernice has horns.
It's Bernice.
It's Bernice. Awesome.
Bernice has horns and udders.
Is there an example of cows that have horns? Or I'm just going to stop talking because
Yes, and udders. Maybe not at the same time.
I
I
mean,
don't
a
know.
cow is always female, right? So are there bovines that have both? It's one or the other, right? Like it's
The Scottish Highland beef, which is the long, red, shaggy hair with the horns, do the males and females have horns?
oh, does a coo have an udder and horns? I don't know. I don't know.
Somebody will tell us, or I will research it later and spend my time looking at silly things online. But I can tell you that Bernice and the cow pictured on that sign are related.
Interesting.
Maybe it's a combination so that you recognize that there could be cows with horns crossing or there could be cows with udders crossing, and they just want to cover all their bases.
Maybe it's a Wisconsin anomaly.
Maybe.
Maybe, you know what? Are there actually two cows standing next to each other?
And
Oh,
it's like the baby on the back of the woman on the airplane.
right, right, exactly. Cindy said, I believe there may be research, research.
Oh.
And Amber said, all, I think, cows have horns. Most dairy cows, they are removed at a young age.
Hmm.
I didn't know that. Amber, thank you.
Okay. Well, somebody give us a Google link or tell us what the right answer is. If you can do it specific to like Wisconsin dairy cows, that would be even more amazing because I'm guessing that's the type of cow we're addressing here on the pictures.
Let's
But
say
like,
yes.
here's a question. Was that sign in Manitowoc County?
Yes.
Did you see cows crossing the road?
No.
Why did the cow cross the road?
Do you have an answer?
I don't know.
That was such a great setup.
Tune in next week and I'll give you the answer.
Hey, before we go, I have to share one last picture. My brother sent this. He's in Germany and he had a chance to hold an eagle. And I think he's nuts. Look at the size of that beak so close to his exposed flesh. Would you do this? Would you hold this?
I mean, was it like, was it trained?
In
Like
the
a,
next shot, the eagle flaps him in the face with its wing. So
okay.
not trained well.
So I've read a book where falconry was part of the book, and I don't think they typically attack like their trainers. I think it would be a really cool experience. He looks like he's maybe got a cup of some liquid courage with him just to make sure. Um, the talons scare me too. Like their talons are scary.
Yeah, he's brave. He's brave.
Ah, that is so cool.
Hey, here's the answer to your joke. Why did the cow cross the road? To get to the movies.
Thank you, Amber. You nailed it.
And Cindy, thank you. According to research, all cows have horns. I was
Now we
today
have
years old.
today we have checked the box on you learning something new today.
This has been
Me at least.
fantastic.
You too?
We've covered a lot. Yeah, that's new information to me. So
Well
great.
done.
Thank you, everybody, for participating. Thanks for making us smarter. So edifying having this conversation this morning.
Go off and be congruent.
Rocky, thanks to the great haiku. We'll see
Yes.
everyone next time. That you've been watching Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Kristin Odell, Tina Prigge. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.